気にさせちまったな。
Hello, it is I, Zermio, and we'll be going over the new unit that came out not too long ago, which I should have covered quite a bit ago, but haven't because I've been mostly grinding all the stuff I should have grinded earlier of all the banners of this recent time of, let's see, 28. August 28, 2025. Yep. So the free run banner and the summer banners are going to be wrapping it up in a few days, and it just got enough time to do this, so let's go over it. Shoot, I don't even know where his name is. Dragon Authority Luahn. I assume that he has an actual different name in Japanese. It's because they like messing with the names, you know, like War Hero Fen, and it's like War God Fen. Well, War God Fen in Japanese and War Hero over here. I'm only gonna go over the global stuff, and then dealing with equips. We're not gonna talk about any of the crossover equips, because then I'd have to go into real deep dives. There's quite a bit of different kits that you can do for him with these equips. Of course, it's GS, so there's not really a staple team that can wipe out every event, because some events have like well, most events are gimmicky, and it's basically just not reliable to use one team for everything. The only parts being that if you're crest farming for 4+ and ascended 5+, or crest bursting for 5+. Okay, let's cut to this. Dragon Authority, Luahn, Dark God. I am scared of this because I haven't done this in a while. We're gonna go over to the other parts first, and then we'll talk about him and his kit, and then his equips, or other equips he can be using. So first off, we're gonna go over this. His evolutionary materials. He requires 30. Dang, I never actually read these. Well, he needs 30 of those to awaken like any other unit, but just 30. And of course he's GS, he's a GS unit, so he will be given the 220 amount of ascended stone or ascended materials for that. Dark, which is quite a bit of a farm if you're not using well, if you're free to play, but if you're pay to win, you'd be using a lot of your elixirs to just get him done. Alright, that's his awakening stuff. And then his true weapon, Duo Ritual. 50, okay, break irrelevant, 20-second cooldown, damage relevant, dark damage physical. For 10 seconds, he reduces enemies' physical resistance by 30%, and because he is a god race, he does increase his arts by 10. Stim by 20, so like every minute he gets like 30 if you're on the point. Now, if you have a god unit and it's like, I don't know if you're like using Sestina and for some reason they never have a, actually that's a horrible thing. Ragna, I forgot the first part of his title, but his name is Ragna, and I'm sure that you all know who Ragna is because he's like literally just a 5-star. Well, yes, and then he's an Awoken unit. Yes. With the Fire Spirit, I did a showcase on them, which I will be doing redos on those showcases because I was in a different mindset and I have a different mindset now. And some of the units I just obliterated them, and I did not take into consideration any of what they actually do. Possibly I'll have to review the footage again, and then I'll get back to it. Anyways, for this, you're probably just going to be using it for him. You're not really going to use it for anyone else. If you are using Star God Liza with him, you will probably, if you're on the dot too, you'll be having this up all the time, because she does 60% and that's basically just half of that. So you'll have for the rest of the fight physical resistance for 10 seconds by 30%, in which is just all the time. And this will be like every 10 seconds, but still it's not really, this is just a little icing or sprinkles right there. But main part, when equipped to him, he increases his own stats by 20% and has auto art by 3 seconds. By 3 per second. And then a sub ability for increases on skill damage by 10%. Now some of these units, like Wave Surfing Fen or Wave Master Fen, his physical is basically almost definitely useless, and I basically just told everyone just use it as a Nagi on him because he's not getting really much of anything out of it. But this, he's got the Vox buff, and then he's got the, well, what normally should be on all of these is auto art gen for him only, but by 3. That sounds like 3 or whatever. I don't know, 60, 180. That's just from that. Yep. So we're just gonna go to that. All right. Now that I am warmed up, Dragon Authority Luahn. He's got alternate art. I assume is motion because it's about $20 on the shop, which I hope it is motion based. So yeah, I am not gonna go through that because I don't have them, and B, I am not gonna spend that money for a unit picture. I don't have it. Even if I did, it would only show up on the homepage. Well, maybe on the super art. I don't know, whatever. Okay. Let's see. So, decent stats. Okay. At least he's not gonna get wrecked. Okay, he's got. Okay, that's obviously occupied. We're not gonna even touch that because that's gonna be occupied with his thing. He's got a 5-star magic, and then third slot is 4-star magic or physical equips. That is very limited. You know what? I'm gonna say this: anything below 5 is super limited because some of them are either horrible, insignificant, or as a fact, there's just staples which you'd probably use anyway. Okay, so here we go. Looks like he's not gonna be reliant on break, so we're not gonna say anything, and he is doing dark physical damage on all these. So let's begin. All right, 2,500% damage. For 5 seconds. Dark allies arts by 3. So 15 every 5 seconds. This unit's Archigen is Type C. Type C. I see now. Okay. He is meant to be run on dark teams. I mean, there's a few units, yeah. Hajime Saito. He's pretty good, but he's mostly gonna be on the other teams. We'll probably get back to that. That's 11-second cooldown. Holy crap. I guess that's understandable, but still, I'd rather have him have a standard 20. Give himself 20 per thing, or 50 or 30, 40, somewhere around there. 20. Usually good skills are around 25 to 20 to 50. Give him a boost or whatnot, and if he had a skill he could just do whatever. Arts. Current HP, current health times 7%. What's he at? Oh great, I gotta do math. I'm not doing math in my head. I just got time for this. Let's see, 7. Okay. 7143. It said 7%, right? Oh, 7. Just 7. Maybe percent. 7,500. I don't know. I don't know how. I forget how these things work, but it's about 50. Yeah, I guess a little under than this. 50%. 550. Yeah, 50%. Yeah, I did it right. But that's if he has full health. Let's see, that'll be for 10 seconds he reduces enemies' physical resistance by 30. I don't see myself using that if I did have him. For 10 seconds? Are you kidding me? And I'm looking down here, it says for 20 seconds. What they should have done is make this 30 seconds, right? Physical resistance by 30% for 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna get to this. So his true arts is 60,000, just a little above the other one. For 20 seconds, he increases all ally stats by 30% and physical damage by 100%. Huh. I'll put on something else. Physical. I'd be fine if this stayed as 20, but they made this 30. Because this is gonna be it's not gonna be up long enough for him to do his other stuff. I haven't seen the actual motions, but if this is 3 to 4 seconds it takes for him to actually perform the actual art, then everything right here is gonna not be gonna be helping for that. And if it's physical resistance, there's a few units and or equips that could do his job but better, or this job. So you're never gonna use arts unless you have to, but at that point your health is probably gonna be so low that this is not even gonna be worth it. This better be good. 150 per, or 150,000% damage for this. 15 times the number of allies alive of unique races. Seconds. Oh, seconds. So it can last up to a minute. For what? Increases own super crit rate by 50% and is, yeah, 60 seconds. Rate by 100%. So huh. Well, recently we've been getting actual ascended units, super arts, super crit, but that's it. Man, I haven't gone over the ability, but he's literally just a mega beat stick for dark teams. I mean, not that I'm saying it's wrong if you end up having him and he's like your last option, but like, I don't know. Not looking too good because we've recently had some stuff that are quite, or some bosses from some events that say that crit is insignificant to them, and the best one, if you want crit, you don't want this. You want a unit that reduces crit resistance of the enemy. Because this is just giving you crit. And if they, now nullification is one thing, but if they have crit resistance built into them, this becomes insignificant. Well, to some degree. I don't know. Do I have anyone that I would trade for this guy? I mean, he does have the increases all allies physical damage by 100% and everyone's stats by 30%. Vox, Demon Lord Vox is a unit, but I don't know. No, he's used on demon teams. That's the issue. I don't know. But he does increase his own super crit of 50%. This is hard. I guess all I can say is you're just gonna be using these two. That's for sure if you have them, you want to use them and whatnot. And if it's a long event, you're using these two. And in case of certain situations, you're probably going to spam this if you're on auto. This is really good. There's not really many dark units that give health. One character is Melia, but she gives health, but she's not really giving a lot of health is the issue. At least here he's raising everyone's stats by 30% every time, so to each their own. Yeah, this is a doozy. Alright, let's go to his passive. Oh, I don't like this already. When set as leader, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a restriction that I hate. No. When set as a leader, increases all increase all allies' equip speed by 50% for the first 100 seconds of the quest. Okay. Now that's like yeah, 50%. So for the first 100 seconds, you're gonna be able to always have this part up, and you'll be able to gain over 100 in that process. So 100 arts in total. Huh. Okay. %. 100 seconds. That's like 60 and 40 minute and 40 seconds on the timer. If you have if you don't have the timer for the like speed or whatever, I mean, you don't have to use it for like speed running, but like it's really helpful to count your seconds of what your equips and your abilities do that are on a time limit. So 1 minute and 40 seconds for this until it's gone. Okay. Oh. Increase all allies crit damage by 50%. Interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. Well, at least it's going into his kit as being a major damage buffer. Well, no, still. He does give crit and he does give the stats and damage. Yeah. Good damage. So there's definitely units that you would use rather than him, but crit damage by 50%. Let's continue. Increases at the start of the quest. He increases all arts by 100. So what? They assume you're gonna use this automatically? Well, it's easy. Okay, so he's gonna nuke. He's a nuker. Yeah, XP or whatever. The special arts event. And increases on arts by 10 if one his special arts. Okay. So is everyone equip speed by 50%? Increases it, the speed of reducing and whatnot. Gives everyone crit rate by 100. And passively he's giving everyone crit damage by 50%. Yeah, this is your typical super art spammer. If you don't want to, if you have him, if you don't want to play the game and you just want to chill out and see the unit just perform while everyone's actually trying to work hard, just use him. Yeah. That's Japan me. I don't understand. Oh, what? But there's nothing there. Stats don't change. Whatever. Wait, is it down here? Oh, I don't see any changes. It must be an old unit type of deal. Yeah, he's literally... Yeah, you're just spamming his true art and super art. Yeah, he's your typical DPS. Though you probably want to do all this stuff faster. This is a DPS that's limited, what the heck. But he does give super crit rate to himself. We haven't had that in a while. Super crit rate's actually insane. Super crit. I don't know. I have units that I would use rather than him, but he's like... He's cool. That's all I can say. He's pretty good overall. Of course, he's a an ascended unit, so he's gonna be better than most units overall. I was farming and I did see his super art speed. It is quite normal, so maybe 5 seconds, maybe. I haven't seen him do his arts, but if it's at some point, he's just gonna. And that art is. Oh my gosh. His art is insignificant. Now, what I'm concerned is about this. Current health. Okay, we're gonna have to do some math again. So imagine if we got 150,000 divided by 7. You could probably get up to, I don't know why you would, but if you got like free ren, or if you're on that one freaking story mode or whatever, or no, the DOT, Dungeon of Trials, I think that's called. If you at least manage to get up to boosting your health, probably like 21,500, a little bit than that or less, and or higher, you will be able to get to the range of going above your own super art, but it is a big if. And I imagine people are not going to be using him with those teams, but it is a free run thing, so I assume they assume that you're going to use him with free run, which is possible. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go with the equips. I have nothing else to say about this. Again, when we're gonna do the equips, we're not gonna talk about any of the crossovers, and if we're gonna be talking events, I'm just gonna bring up the certain equips that I do know of and I know that are pretty good overall. So let's get into this. Yep, your usual True Exceed Sex, basically the staple of all 5-star magic equip slots. If you don't know what you're doing, you just toss this on. Regular, if your health is over 75%, you get 30 arts for it, and then increases art damage by 50% for 8 seconds. Definitely long enough for any art he is pulling off when you activate this. I assumably hope it is. So yep. Again, he is dark. So for this, True Nemesis Crow, pro at reducing enemies' dark resistance by 50% for 10 seconds. This is mainly for like other stuff like you know, just being a support, I guess. He does not reduce dark resistance, enemies' dark resistance, so this is pretty good for him. Trilogy Zex does have lifesteal as a secondary. Though I don't know what dragons you're gonna be fighting. If he does use this, you'll be able to do 50% more damage to dragons. True Bastone. I was just going through all the stuff and I found this. I doubt you would use it, but probably in Crest if you somehow run out of ideas. Increases dark damage by 20% and damage to giant boss by 50% for 15 seconds. So not too much, not too bad, but this is only if you somehow have True Bastone and not all the other equips somehow. Yeah. Okay, oops, wrong one. True Stratica, that's basically it. Increases damage to enemy by 30% for 10 seconds. Shoot, I didn't see the other thing. I forgot about one of the other equips, whether or not they can do this. This is basically an effect. Not really a status element, but a stat element or whatever. Or increases more damage for, like, if you hit this on an enemy, it shows like a little, like scratch or whatever, blue background, red scratch, you know. And it just gives everyone the chance to do more damage to the enemy, the boss. 30% more to their stuff, or to the boss's health. He also increases the damage to giant bosses by 20% for the unit that is holding this. Just in case you somehow, for some reason, have this laying around. So I'm putting you over here. And then we're gonna go over here to the last one, the last true equip, Mirage Kimono. Mainly looking at this part for like, if A, you don't have any of the following, or the other 5-star, dang, I'm just brain farting so much. Any of the other magic 5-stars. But this is the main part, is giving everyone battle experience, or elixir, I don't know, forgetting, it's BE, battle XP, I'm just gonna say that. Battle experience output. I think there's a word, I forget, I remember I learned about the word about it. Gosh. Battle experience output, I'm just gonna keep saying battle experience. For 10 seconds, just giving you more raw ways of getting art by just straight damage and whatnot. Main thing I use this for is, like, you know, nukes. Yeah. This part, you just ignore that he's a dark, so he's not gonna have any of that. This does give him evasion by 20% when he's literally gonna die, which I doubt does much of anything. Yeah. Now we're gonna probably go into a bit of the free-to-play parts of it, mainly on the side story. Ninja Gar Mirage Kimono. Same thing and same reason as the tree equip, except it's 30%, not 50, and evasion 5% when near death instead of 20. Yeah, thrift shop kimono. And then we're gonna go here. Your usual free-to-play 5-star in magic equip, magical Akashic Eye. Main thing is really just 30 yards when 50% or more health, and then this is insignificant because he does physical damage. So it's basically just 30 art when used. Not too bad though. Dark Relic Nicked. This part gives, well, basically him the ability to ignore 50% of the enemy's defense if they ever bring up any, and just straight annihilate them and any dark allies that are with him. He has dark swords, why not? Main thing is that it gives him more extra stats than any other dark elemental ally. 20% more stat. Overall stat boost. I mean, if you're going full on with the beefiness, but you don't have any other equips, so. Bel Canto M3. I was looking at the true equip for that, but this is the other one does magic reduction, I assume. I think I remember. But this one gives you dark damage and accuracy by 30%. What he doesn't have in a kit is accuracy built in. So this helps, and a tiny bit of attack boost by 5%. Nether Lord Armor Bilzedia. Now we're gonna go into the part where it's like events, but recently we had like this like couple times every few months, every couple, or not couple, but like every now and then. Well, now and then, it's been a while. It's more likely you'll be able to see this again. Not too far in the future. This, for 8 seconds, he increases his own dark damage by 50%. And best part, he increases his own arts by 50 when he uses it for the first time. And a bit of attack, 10% when he's above 90% health. So basically the perfect equip if you're not so hot on magic equips and you're trying to nuke with him. So that's always good. I used it a couple times, it's alright. And then one of the more rarer stuff, which is I think the last one. Yep, last one. Genocider's Helm EV. Now, the only reason I like using this is because it gives you extra stats. It gives you 500 more than the usual magic equip, which is 500. It gives you 1,000, 500 more than usual. But what's also good about this is that it reduces the enemy's dark resistance by 30% for 8 seconds. Perfect for what was it? nuking, especially when it gives you, for the first time when using, 50 more arts. And for some reason, its passive is giving you defense by 5%. Now, when doing the whole thing, you're gonna be doing the EV part, which is like an enchantment or an upgrade, and all of these are randomized. So usually you'd want to have like attack up, maybe. Maybe skill speed, or maybe attack up since it's an attack thing. But most of these are significant based on how low the percentages are and that too. But it's all right for the last bit. There are better magic equips. There are, because I have some. But I am only going over the general equips that you're able to get. There is an equip for True Exceed Zex. It's just called Exceed Zex. It's a event like the not genocide. Well, it's Beelzedia. It's like Beelzedia from True Voxes from Ascended Voxes event. It's just a knockoff version of the True Exceed Zex, but it's still relatively good. So that was gonna cover his second slot. Now his third slot was really hard to find any good equips, unless you're talking about equips that are from crossovers and whatnot. So, for a side story, Phantom Coat Stigma increases your attack by 30% for 8 seconds, and if it's dark, which he is, it increases his defense by 20% for 8 seconds. Also gives him paralysis, evasion, and reduction by 10%, which is basically worthless in most cases and hard to actually use because you usually get paralyzed anyways. Next up is Voracious Coat Splendor. Splendor, known for its lifesteal of 2% of damage, you inflict for 5 seconds. A little bit of a defense buff, but yeah, that's basically all it does, is a lifesteal. If you were wondering if the damage you're doing is gonna kill you for some reason. Yeah. And your usual and most used one of the most used equips that I do have on many units. Well, many units implied that I just throw them on different teams or whatnot. Magical Outfit Period, or Pierrot Crimson. Basically reduces enemies' attack and defense by 20% for 8 seconds. Super good and relatively okay burning. Increases burning time reduction and burning evasion rate by 30%, which is a little bit more significant than the paralysis type of baloney that was going on over with Stigma. But it is one of my most used equips for 4-star magic, because it's not really a popular equip slot thing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go over for the physical end of things. I only know this because I've seen people use it, and let's just close that there. I think this is where you get from Mines. I think Mines, most likely Mines. Uses 25% of own health To increase attack by 30% and autofills the arts gauge by 2 seconds for 10 or for 10 seconds. It increases your attack by 30% and autofills your art gauge by 2. So that's basically 20 arts per 10 seconds. It does reduce your max health by 15% though. So use at your own risk, but still relatively good as it's one of the few, if not the only, equip that gives arts. Much less arts that autofills in a 4-star slot with that is also known as physical. So I'm just gonna escape that because I am losing my mind. Gunsword Bray Gun Cannon. Measly 20% attack for 4 seconds for all allies. Probably want to use this when you activate your arts first to use the best of your 4 seconds if this is your only buffer or whatever for 4-star equip physical slot. Damage to gods for 20%. You're not really fighting them, so this is basically the only reason why you have it, or it's just to fill in the gap for the 120% attack stat increase. I do not know, nor do I remember where this comes from. I think it is Mines, but I haven't seen it, so don't quote me on it. But Blaze Coil Annulus. I assume main reason it's used is for, well, break power 100% down, but for the passively physical damage by 20% increase, a full 25%, and you just have to let it sit there. You don't even have to use this. I mean, you can, but it's not like it's going to do anything, just damage. It does reduce your break power by a lot, so don't use this if you need to break an enemy. And then finally, the last one, Heavy Arms Arsenal Leaf from the side event. That's basically it. Increases your defense by 20% for 10 seconds. And then when he's about to die, you get skill speed, cooldown time, 10% up, which I doubt is going to do much of anything since he's in a burst arts Jenner. So yeah, that is Dragon Authority Luahn, and this I've been rambling on and on and on. And frankly, all this talking has got me really freaking tired. So that's gonna be it for the analysis, and I'll catch you guys later.